welcome back to my video. Today's topic is breathing in humans. Come, let's go into the video. Introduction. A cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of an organism. A cell does certain functions like reproduction, metabolism, excretion, growth, and responding to stimuli. But a cell needs energy to do all these functions. Even when we sleep, eat or read, we need energy. This energy is obtained by food we eat. This food has stored energy, which is released during respiration. Therefore, all living organisms respire to get energy from it. During breathing, we breathe in air. You know that air contains oxygen. We breathe out air which is rich in carbon dioxide. The air we breathe in is transported to all parts of the body and ultimately to each cell. In the cells, oxygen in the air helps the breakdown of cellular respiration. The process of breakdown of food in the cell with the release of energy is called cellular respiration. It takes place in the cells of all organisms. In the cell, the food is broken down into carbon dioxide and water using oxygen. This is the process by which organisms combine oxygen with food molecules. Aerobic respiration. This type of respiration is common in most of the plants, animals, humans, and other mammals. The respiration that takes place in the presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration because it uses air which contains oxygen. The aerobic respiration involves utilization of oxygen for the breakdown of chemical bonds in glucose to release energy in high amounts. Animals and plants that use oxygen for respiration are aerobes. All organisms that obtain energy by aerobic respiration cannot live without oxygen. This is because if there is no oxygen, they cannot get energy from the food which they eat. Aerobic respiration produces more energy because a complete breakdown of food glucose occurs during respiration by the use of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration. Food can also be broken down without using oxygen. This is called anaerobic respiration. Human beings normally obtain energy by aerobic respiration, but when we need extra energy, anaerobic respiration can take place in a muscle for a short time. Anaerobic respiration in humans. When we do heavy physical exercise, our muscles need more oxygen, but the supply of oxygen through blood is limited and hence insufficient. During heavy exercise, some of our muscles respire anaerobically. The anaerobic respiration by muscles brings the partial breakdown of glucose to form lactic acid and very little amount of energy. This lactic acid accumulates in the muscles. The accumulation of lactic acid in the muscle causes muscle cramps. Yeast are single-celled organisms. They respire anaerobically and eat ethyl alcohol, which are used in making wine and beer. They are also used in baking industries. Difference between respiration and breathing. Breathing. It is a physical process of exchanging gas. No energy production. It involves nose, mouth, and pharynx. Respiration. It is a chemical process which takes place at a cellular level. It produces energy. Respiration takes place in cells and in muscles. Difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic. It occurs in the presence of oxygen. Food materials are completely oxidized to release carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Sufficient amount of energy is released. It takes place mostly in all organisms. Enzymes responsible for this process are found in mitochondria. Anaerobic respiration. It occurs in the absence of oxygen. Food materials are incompletely oxidized to release alcohol, carbon dioxide, and energy. A small amount of energy is released. It takes place in few organisms like yeast and muscles of human beings. Enzymes responsible for this process are found in protoplasm. Human respiration. In all higher organisms, the respiratory organ is lungs, and gaseous exchange takes place from these lungs. The lungs are the most important organ that help human beings in respiration. Air is sucked through lungs to a series of cavities and tubes which together make up the whole respiratory system. Respiratory system is divided into two main groups, that is associated organs and main organ. Associated organs are nostrils, trachea, pharynx, larynx, bronchi, thoracic cavity, and diaphragm. Main organ is nostrils. Air enters the body through nose. Externally, the nose consists of two nostrils. Nostrils are lined with membranes that are coated with moist and sticky mucus. Some of the membranes are moving cilia. As air passes over membrane, it is formed and moistened. Dust particles falling on the sticky surface are swept out by cilia towards the throat, where they are either swallowed or coughed up. This removes most of the large foreign particles from the and pharynx. The nasal cavity leads into pharynx. Posterior part of nasal cavity is called pharynx, which is connected to the mouth. The air passes through pharynx and enters trachea, which is the middle of the mouth. The trachea is about 12 cm long and 2.5 in diameter. The trachea, also known as windpipe, is the main airway to the lung. Larynx. The larynx is a sound-producing organ which is enlarged upper end of the trachea. It occurs in three types of cartilage: one thyroid, one silicoid, paired adrenal cartilage. The larynx is commonly called the voice box contour. The trachea divides into two tubes, the right and left bronchi. After air has passed through trachea, it enters the bronchi. Each bronchus enters the lungs. Air is further pulled into branches of bronchi. The bronchi then divides into smaller tubes called bronchioles. The bronchioles connect into tiny ducts that lead into air sacs called alveoli. Alveoli are usually surrounded by tiny blood vessels. It is the alveoli of the lungs where gases exchange occurs. Oxygen from the alveoli passes into blood cells and is carried to different parts of the body. At the same time, carbon dioxide from the blood vessel passes into the alveoli. Thoracic cavity. The thoracic cavity, also called chest cavity, is the second largest hollow place in the body. It is enclosed by the ribs. It is divided into two pleural cavities, each enclosing a lung. The floor of the thoracic cavity is completely closed by a thin muscular septum called diaphragm. The diaphragm, located below the lungs, is a major muscle of respiration. It is a large dome-shaped muscle. Main organ, lungs. The lungs are a pair of elastic organs present in the chest or the pleural cavity of the body. The sides of the chest are bounded by ribs which are joined to the backbone at the back and the breastbone at the front. The pleural cavity contains pleural fluid that allows membranes to move easily to one another while breathing and keeping lungs always moist and help them in the breathing process. The right lung is somewhat larger than the left lung and are divided into three lobes, and the left lung is divided into two lobes. Adult lungs have an internal area about 90 meters square. The whole area is covered with a net of tiny blood vessels which is joined end to end, cover several thousand meters. Thank you. We'll meet you in the next video with the new topic, respiration in other animals. If you like the video, please like, subscribe and share, and don't forget to leave a comment below if you found this video useful. And bye until next video.